Time to shield wall, guys. This week on Learn to Play the Quest Warrior. Hey guys, Nao here. Thanks for joining me for my weekly Learn to Play video guide. This week we're doing the Quest Warrior. This is probably the best deck in the current meta so far that we've discovered. Personally, I'm finding this deck really enjoyable to play as well. I'm finding it much better than those aggro type decks that have been predominantly the more powerful decks in, well, the last meta essentially. So I'd like to start by going over the strategies for this deck. So we have a couple of different strategies depending on whether we're playing against aggro decks or slower decks. So first of all, let's talk about the aggro deck strategy. So surprisingly, when you're facing off against an aggro deck, or when you think you're facing off an aggro deck, in your mulligan you actually want to drop the quest card because you're not going to be completing that quest, or you shouldn't be if you're playing against an aggro deck, because the game will be decided long before then. Essentially against aggro decks, you want to be building up as many taunt minions as you can on the field to create a shield wall, and stop your opponent from, obviously killing you. If you survive until the end game against aggro decks, you will easily outvalue them, and you'll just have so many taunt minions and they won't be able to do anything to stop you. Now the strategy against slower decks is all about completing a quest. So obviously you're going to be wanting to play taunt cards as many as you can to complete your quest as quickly as possible. Also within this deck there are quite a few board clears, which I'll talk about in the next combo section. But basically you want to complete that quest and get that valuable 2 mana, 8 damage to a random enemy every turn. It's very, very hard for your opponent to win from that point if you're quite stable on the board. Alright guys, now we've talked about the basic strategies for the deck. Let's go and have a look at the cards in the deck. So here's my deck list. As you can see, there are a lot of taunt minions, so we can complete the quest really quickly. As well as that, there are a heap of board clearing combos that I'll talk about in a moment. So let's go and have a look at some of the combos in this deck now. Okay, so first of all, let's quickly go over the quest. You want to play this on turn 1 if you're playing against slower decks, as I mentioned earlier. You need to play 7 taunt minions to get the Sulfuras reward, which is a 4/2 weapon, and it changes your hero power to be deal 8 damage to a random enemy for 2 mana cost, which is really valuable. So I'm not going to list and go through all the taunt minions here because there are a lot of them. I just wanted to talk about it briefly and obviously the main objective of the quest. Now let's go through some of the board clear combos, and we'll start off by talking about the Brawl and Dirty Rat combo. So potentially you might want to use Dirty Rat in combo with Brawl to pull an extra minion onto the board and really clear out some extra stuff. Now Dirty Rat can actually be really valuable against Quest Rogue because it can really stuff up their plan for playing 4 cards. You can pull out one of their minion returners, or you can even pull out the minion they're trying to play 4 times and kill it and really stuff them up. It can also work really well against Mage. You might pull out Antonidas, for example, or one of their sorceresses and really stuff up their plan too. But if you're not playing against these decks, yeah, Dirty Rat plus Brawl is really good. The next set of board clear combos we have are all associated with Sleep with the Fishes. So this deals 3 damage to all damaged minions. So you can combo this with a Whirlwind, the Ravaging Ghoul, or my personal favorite, when you have 10 mana you can play Primordial Drake and Sleep with the Fishes and do 5 damage to all enemy minions, which is super valuable and can be a complete board clear. It's actually really good in particular against the questing rogue if they've already completed their quest, as that's really the only way to do 5 damage very easily to a large amount of minions with this deck, other than Brawl of course. Now the last card I want to talk about is the Curator. It's a taunt minion, which is good, helps us complete our quest. But the battle cry will also draw you a beast and a dragon. We don't have any Murlocs in the deck, so you can draw a Primordial Drake and one of the Die Horns, which is quite valuable because I find sometimes you can actually start running out of cards, kind of mid to end game with this deck if you're unlucky. So now that I've talked about the main combos in this deck, let's go and talk about the mulligans. Okay, so here are the mulligans you want to be going for against faster decks. As I mentioned earlier, you want to drop the quest card because you will probably not be completing your quest, or if you do, the game's already over by that point. So, main mulligan, as with most warrior decks, is the Fiery War Axe because it's super valuable early game. It will allow you to basically take out a couple of minions usually. Then we have the Slam card. This is also really good early game minion removal. One thing to note is against aggro decks, don't worry too much about getting the card draw effect out of it. You're probably better off actually killing a minion than trying to get that card draw value. Next we have the Ravaging Ghoul. This is really good at clearing out early game minions, especially against aggro pirate warrior, even some of the shaman decks, even the questing rogue. Quite often have 1 health minions that you can, yeah, take out early in the game with that. Now we've come to the Tar Creeper. This is possibly the best card against aggro decks. 5 health, and on your opponent's turn it has 3 attack. It will cost them a lot of resources to break through that, so it's really valuable against those aggro decks. As I mentioned earlier, the Dirty Rat is good against the questing rogue or the questing mage, or even mage in general. I would say hold on to this if you're playing a rogue or a mage, otherwise it's not worth it. Now the final mulligan choice against aggro decks would be Bloodhoof Brave. It's worth holding on to if you have good curve for turn 2 and 3 already. If not, I'd probably drop it and try and pick up something better. Okay, so now I've spoken about the mulligans against aggro decks, let's have a look at the mulligans against slower decks. So first of all, obviously Fire Plume's Heart. You want to hold on to this and you want to play it turn 1 because it's all about completing your quest, as I mentioned earlier. Just like against aggro decks, you want to hold on to Fire War Axe because it's really good value against early game minions. So you also want to hold on to Slam, but this time you want to make sure you get the value out of it and get the card draw against slower decks. It's going to be more valuable long term. The next mulligan we have was the Acolyte of Pain. Since we're playing long term games, we want to get as much card draw and value as we can, so this is a really good mulligan to play, and will hopefully at least get you 2 cards before it gets killed. Next we have the Stonehill Defender. This is probably the best value card in slower matchups because it's a taunt minion, and then it gives you another taunt minion which will really help supercharge a quest. And so what can actually happen sometimes as well is you can actually discover a Stonehill Defender and get another one, so if that option comes up, please pick the Stonehill Defender. Unlike against aggro decks, the Tar Creeper is not the best value card in the deck. As I just mentioned, the Stonehill Defender is. But if you don't have a Stonehill Defender, Tar Creeper is a good turn 3 play. So if you have a Tar Creeper in your mulligan and no Stonehill Defender, I'd probably say it's worth holding on to it. Finally, Bloodhoof Brave. It's worth holding on to if you have good curve for turn 2 and 3, otherwise drop it and try and pick up something more useful early on. Okay guys, so now I've talked about the strategy, the combos and the mulligans for this deck. Let's go and play some example matches. Okay, playing Priest. Possibly Death Rattle or Dragon. So either way should be a slower deck. Don't want to keep Fire Plume, Promoter Drake, no, Dion, no. Stonehill Defender is awesome. Oh, okay. It's a pretty good starting hand. Be nice to have the Fiery War Axe, but it's alright. We can Fire Plume turn 1 and then coin next turn into any one of those 3, depending on what they play. Probably coin into Stonehill, give us maximum options. Dirty Rat's probably not that great. Another Diehorn Hatchling. Oh, well, I say another one. I mean one. Dropped one on the mulligan. Cool. So I mean, we can damage and execute, probably worth saving for something bigger. We can go for Tar Creeper or some more card draw. At the moment, probably Tar Creeper is the way to go. Actually, no, we'll go some more card draw. Yeah, I kind of thought that might happen. That's okay. So I'm going to play Tar Creeper now. I think unfortunately he's going to kill off that. Stonehill Defender, which is okay. Cool. I mean, at this point we can kill that minion with Execute if we want. Probably not worth it. Okay, Armor Smith. It's good, we have Curator, which will be awesome pretty soon. Already blown a power death, so better word. Pain, I should say. Power death. What am I talking about? Do 3 damage to all minions. Actually, probably not bad. Right here. Next turn we can Curator, hopefully. We don't need to play anything else like Execute or Brawl. Yep, excellent. Good value. Always good to have Primordial Drake. Starting to get there in a quest, couple more. We draw a cheap Taunt. Could actually achieve that next turn. Yeah, okay, cool. That's why I saved the Execute. Exactly for that. You could slam it, but... might actually go for the armor. Since we're going to probably swap over to our weapon soon. Huh. That's probably our slam target. To be perfectly honest. And I'll play that so we get the armor. Looking pretty good right now. I have a few more cards left than he does. Don't a lot of cards actually. Yep. We can get super greedy here if you want. We can play. You can play double Dirty Rat and board clear, but probably not really worth it. It's probably good is to do that to clear out the cheap minion. No, play that first. Cool. Still looking very solid. He's got very few cards in his hand compared to us. We still have a very good board clear option. Yep, nice. Okay, Hunter. Yeah, so he should drop the quest. Not much use. Since surviving's key. Whirlwind's, yeah, Whirlwind's probably pretty good to hold on to, I think. Yeah, maybe not. And the Dirty Rat's not really useful against Hunter that much. They'll drop everything. Yeah, that's a bit better. Stonehill Defender's pretty good, Slam's pretty good. Curator's useless, I would have preferred Whirlwind, but... drew my quest anyway. Well, I may as well play it, I can't play anything else. Yeah, essentially it's a waste of cards, a card against these aggressive decks. Okay, so we need to just get rid of that because that's too painful to leave around. This is where I need my Whirlwind. That's alright. Stonehill Defender's good. These aren't that great. Harlot's good, but we want to play Curator. I'm gonna go Ancient. It's basically useless to us. At least we can play Hatchling next turn. I'd really like a Whirlwind now. For Ravaging Ghoul. I did say I wanted that. I mean, it doesn't feel really good right now, actually. I mean, I'd essentially be killing the Rat Pack and it would be summoning 2 minions, and then Sleep with the Fishes wouldn't really do much. Let him play a little bit more before we do the board clear. See, now that looks a bit more attractive for the AoE, but we're still not clearing everything out. We're still going to be left with a 3-2 Big Bad Wolf, which is no good. The Ancient's probably the way to go there. It's a lot of health for him to have to burn through. Yeah, he's gonna have to use all his minions. Maybe he'll pass. He does all AoE. Okay. Yeah, AoE's probably pretty good since we have Sleep with Fishes. Otherwise we can play Curator. I'll take a fair bit of beating. Give us a lot of options. Yeah, I think I can do that, because next turn then we can Primordial Drake. Since we have two. Health is pretty okay at the moment, considering his board plus the number of cards he has in his hand. Is that a beast? That is a beast, so it does have charge. And we have Brawl. We probably want to do... Yeah, I think that's the way to go. If we get into lots of trouble, we can Primordial Drake plus Sleep with Fishes on turn 10. And even Primordial Drake and Primordial Drake Sleep with Fishes if things get somehow really crazy. But he doesn't have many cards in his hand. Need to be a bit cautious about our health, that's all. So that's pretty good. I mean, we can deal with that easy enough. Adapt. What do we want? Divine Shield sounds good. Start shielding up. Should try and make sure we armor up every turn now. Unless we do need to do a big board clear, but it doesn't look like we're going to. Since his cards in his hand are pretty limited now. Yay, quest completed. Not really gonna use. Don't want to lose that Divine Shield or the Ravaging Ghoul. Got our shield wall up and running. Wow. That's pretty good. Too bad of way too much stuff. Looking pretty good. Seeing as he's just going off top deck now. I still got a fair bit of health. Yeah, also nice. Alright, playing another warrior. Not sure if they're playing aggro or taunt, so probably good to hold on to 5 Plume's Heart. Curator will drop. Ravaging Ghoul is really good against aggro, so we'll hold it just in case. Execute's pretty useful as well, so we'll hold those. Hopefully draw a taunt minion. Wow, okay, just mass amounts of AoE. It's okay. So I don't think that Taunt, they dropped their quest unless they thought I was aggro and didn't bother with it. Okay. Do I want to risk Dirty Rat? Probably not right now. Be good later on once we have something on the field. Yeah, okay, it's aggro. Yeah. So we might have to slam coin execute. Fair bit of damage. I don't really want to deal with. Yeah. Still taking a lot of damage. Wow. This is not fantastic right now, but that's okay. Yes, that's what I wanted. A curator. I mean, so nice. If we're playing slower deck, I would have taken the curator. But get as much taunt in the way as we can. That weapon he's got though. Oh. We probably have to Raging Ghoul and Sleep with Fishes. If we can get to... Wow. That's actually pretty good for us. We can play. And we have to taunt. Have to shield up. Armor up, god. Because if he draws his Mortal Strike was stuffed. Or if he gets Leroy Jenkins right now, we're stuffed. A lot of cards he could draw. But probably need to keep armoring up next turn, so Curator's probably not a good play. We probably want to play Tar Creeper plus armor. Wow. Okay. Nice. Alright guys, those were some interesting games we just played then. It was good, we got a good spread. We got one slow deck at the start against the Priest, which is a good example of how to play in slow decks. Really kept control of that whole game. Got my wall of taunts up, got the quest completed, and then it was game over. The second game against the Hunter was really good. Kind of cleared out his board and then built my taunt wall, and then that was it from there. And the final game was also a really good example facing the aggro Pirate Warrior deck. Kind of just held off enough to get my taunt wall going, and he ran out of power and couldn't finish me off. So that concludes my Quest Warrior deck guide video. I hope you guys found it useful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. Also check out some of my other videos in my channel. Thank you guys very much for watching. Until next time, farewell.